What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode on my channel. As always, I'm Jay, and today, guys, I'm finally talking about one of my new favorite shows, which is The Mandalorian, the first live-action Star Wars TV show ever, which has come to Disney Plus, and it's taking place after the Return of the Jedi film in Star Wars, of course, so this places it maybe a little bit of time after the fall of the Empire, and it centers around this intergalactic bounty hunter known in the title as the Mandalorian. And he is a Mandalorian bounty hunter, part of a underground Mandalorian tribe and whatnot, as we end up finding out throughout the course of this show. And essentially, he's, just this neutral kind of party, always hunting down kind of bounties at his leisure. That he ends up doing just to, again, collect the bounty money, and he has no qualms about it. But the biggest factor that comes in as we find out is that one of his targets he actually decides to protect, and he has a change of heart, namely because of the target being a child or baby in this case. And then from there, different hijinks and adventures ensue, not in the comedic way, but more in an action adventure way. And guys, this is a straight old time western set in the futuristic sci-fi world in a galaxy far, far away of Star Wars. And this harkens back to the original film, I would say. Not specifically Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi so much as the original, just because of the surroundings, having to go to different places with scum and villainy, going into these bars, going into these kind of rundown, planets and kind of the towns that they inhabit. Evokes very, very much that old West imagery and kind of that futuristic, retro-futuristic style that the original film itself had, and it works all the better for it. And one of the great things about this is that this show is created by Jon Favreau of Iron Man and Jungle Book and other film fame. And the thing about it is it works so well to the point where even Star Wars fans are uniting over this show and actually really enjoying it consistently across the board. Because honestly, guys, Star Wars fans have become the hardest people to please ever since the prequel trilogy had come out, going into this new trilogy where people are really not digging some of the choices that have been made. I can say that I've been one of the ones that have kind of been a little on the fence about certain things, especially after The Last Jedi. But I've been having more fun with those retro style kind of tie-ins. So Rogue One, Solo. So this was definitely up my alley. And guys, this show plays like a greatly written fan fiction played out in live action, which this is what it should be like. You're in a familiar world, but you're actually telling stories with new characters, and it doesn't affect the whole overall arching story of, let's say, the previous films so much as Rogue One did, or even as Solo did. And the thing is that this show had a lot riding on it, especially being the first live-action Star Wars TV show, but it has paved the way for other great shows to come along, and especially since the Obi-Wan show has been greenlit, even before this had even debuted, just because of the buzz and how everything was playing out. I think we have a great way ahead of us as far as expanding the universe of Star Wars. Now, this show for me, like I said, I really enjoy it. There's a bunch of different pros to this show that I wanted to kind of rattle off. The first is the fact that we are revealed as a slow reveal throughout the course of these 8 episodes about the main character, the Mandalorian. We get to know him throughout each episode through flashbacks, through kind of his interactions with people of his past, through his interactions with people in his present, how he treats the child, how he's kind of carrying himself, and by the end, the final episode of the season, we actually get to know his name, a little bit more of his background, and even his face is shown, which I think that is pretty cool and bold, because you could have even done it where you don't show his face, or you could have showed his face from the get-go, or waited until the end of the series to do this, but I think that it was pretty cool just to see that it is Pedro Pascal underneath the helmet, which controversially isn't necessarily true, because during the filming of some episodes, some of the directors, including Bryce Dallas Howard, said that she didn't even work with Pedro on set technically. But overall, even if Pedro Pascal is not in the suit 100% of the time, it doesn't take away from the fact that the dude is acting his ass off, and he is a very enthralling character for me personally. The next big thing is the fact that this is in a post-Empire world, which we haven't really seen because of the gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, and obviously that in-between kind of area is still a little bit hazy. There haven't really been anything as far as shows to tackle that little piece, so this is one of the first things to kind of break that ground. Aside from that, though, you're not going to get away from it. The child, Baby Yoda, as he's been dubbed, is one of the most coolest things about this show. Obviously, we know that it isn't exactly Yoda. We don't even know what race Yoda is, so the speculation is running rampant as to the mystery surrounding this child. So is he a clone? Is he a reincarnation? We don't know, but we love Baby Yoda. Of course, you have to give it up to the cameos and the supporting cast for this show as well. That's been another big hit on this. I love Carl Weathers, the inclusion of him, Gina Carano. Taika Waititi has IG-11, I believe his droid number was, droid name rather. You had Nick Nolte in the show. And of course you have the big bad that debuted in the last 2 episodes of the entire season, which was Moff Gideon, played by Giancarlo Esposito, who is shaping up to be quite a badass character and very, very evil, if I do say so myself. And in the last shot that he had in the season, he's actually cutting himself out of the wreckage of his TIE fighter with a black bladed lightsaber, which there's got to be a lot more going on with this guy. I'm really interested to see what else he's going to be bringing in the next season of The Mandalorian, which of course is coming in fall 2020, according to Jon Favreau and company, which I cannot wait. Now, hands down, my favorite episodes of the season were, of course, the finale, but my favorite one aside from that is the episode entitled The Prisoner, where we get so many cameos. You get the guy who was Detective Flask in Batman Begins, you get Clancy Brown, you get Bill Burr of all people, who admittedly did not like Star Wars growing up apparently. That really showed you an awesome version of The Mandalorian and kind of gave you a little bit more, a bigger chunk of his background. And there's a lot of history that isn't said but very much implied, and it works so damn well in this video, or this episode rather. And just because he had to regroup with this team of other kind of scum and bounty hunters that he used to work with before he ended up jumping ship and leaving them to do his own thing. At one point in the show, he actually is backstabbed by them, and then he has to go right back at them and take them all down one by one, which is very awesome and eerie because there are moments in this where he was just ghosting people, and it was so freaking awesome, and we got even more of a taste of how badass and how efficient of a bounty hunter that The Mandalorian truly is, and it definitely sent some chills up my spine. And that kind of leads me into maybe the only cons that I have to the show. These episodes are much too short, guys. They're only like half an hour long for the majority of them. And then on top of that, I wanted more episodes in this season. Of course, it's the first season, it's the premiere season, so they only had a few episodes to work with and everything. But going forward, if we can get a few more episodes, or if we can get even longer episodes, that would be fan-freaking-tastic. But anyway, guys, that's all the time that I have for today, so thank you so much for joining me on my review of Season 1 of The Mandalorian. It was quick, it was brief, and guys, just like the season, it came in a flash. But anyway, guys, like I said, if you are a Star Wars fan and have not seen it yet, go and check it out. All the episodes are available, so you can now binge the first season on Disney+, which is good if you just do a little free trial, just to wet your beak a little bit. But anyway, guys, that's all the time that I have for today, so thank you so much, and until next time, guys, I'm Jay. And of course, guys, this is going to be my last video until the new year, so guys, thank you so much for making this year awesome. All my new subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. We are close to hitting 300 subscribers, which maybe I might have by the time this video comes out. But anyway, guys, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time, I'm Jay. So take care.